Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the live. I'm so glad to see you guys today. Happy Friday. Are y'all excited for the weekend? Are you excited for the weekend? I'm excited for the weekend. I'm excited to get some rest, to enjoy. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have any plans, so I'm gonna have to figure it out. But I want to do something. I want to do something, so something's going to be done. Um, Anywho, today we're going to be talking about how society programs you and influences your ideas about marriage. We have no control of how we are being influenced by our society, by modern media, by the TV shows and movies, right? We don't have any control of how what they give to us. All we can do is control what we think about it, right? So we're going to go ahead and get into this topic today. Hey, John, how are you? We're going to go ahead and get into this topic today. I'm super excited to talk about it because I just feel like there's so many layers to this conversation that I want to talk about. But before we get into that, remember, y'all, especially for everybody watching the replay, if you're watching the replay, hey, how are you doing, baby? Remember, I am Meiana. I am a sage woman. I support people like you, people who are burnt out, overwhelmed, and disconnected to return back to self, improve relationships, get the job that they want, get the career, the love, whatever they're wanting. I help you overcome those limiting beliefs so that you can come back to self and manifest it with ease, with leisure. So make sure you book your free 15-minute consultation down below if you guys are interested. And we're gonna wait a little bit. I'm going to put a question in the chat. It's so many things that my mind is like, do, 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 do. I put a question in the chat. But I was thinking, I actually thought about it this time because y'all know I don't be thinking about these questions until I get here. But I was thinking I was gonna ask you guys what was your favorite movie, show, or song growing. No, please. No, they're not gonna let me do it. What was your favorite song, movie, or show? Hey, y'all, as a kid. Question mark. Oh, they let me do it. Good. They let me do it. There we go. Hi, Rajisha. How are you? How are you guys doing? Thank you guys to everybody who came in and liked. Now, make sure you answer this question. Answer this question if you guys can see it right here. My name is Meiana. Hello, hello, hello. So, make sure you answer the question so we can see who's all in the chat. I'm interested to see what you guys are going to say. And I know that I'll probably have to answer this question a few times. The first thing that I can think about growing up, I used to love listening to like Carrie Underwood songs. I used to love listening to this group called Prima J growing up. What else did I used to listen to? Oh, I used to listen to, what's that girl's name? What's that girl's name? She was a rock star. Scooby-Doo. And Arthur was a good show. I love that one. Arthur was a good show, for sure. I would let my kids watch Arthur. My favorite movie is Terrifier. I never heard that before. Favorite song is Labor. Okay. Eureka, for sure. What is Eureka? That's a show or a movie? Hey, Lucifer. Gretel and Hunter. Oh, I just saw that movie for the first time a few months ago. That was a good movie. I know this will probably... Okay. Thank you, Malone. Hey, Jalen. I ain't seen you in a minute, friend. How you been, Jalen? What you been eating, Jalen? Moana? That's a new movie. It's a show? Okay. That's interesting. So yeah, No, what's that girl's name? Rock stars. I used to listen to a lot of like would that be considered rock music when I was younger? It was a girl, I cannot remember her name. They said she was she became a robot. You mean cheesesteak? Oh my god, that sounds so good. All that was my show. All that? Okay, okay, okay. Hey Max. If I can't figure out this girl's name, I'm gonna go crazy. Here we go. Her name was Avril Lavigne. I used to love listening to Avril Lavigne. Skater Boy was one of my favorite songs. Orange soda, the drink. Hello, China. Shout out to China. Fast and Furious. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, Avril Lavigne, she was my girl growing up. I used to listen to her songs, not all the songs, but some of her popular songs like Girlfriend, Skater Boy, Wish You Were Here. I used to listen to Complicated. I used to listen to all those songs growing up. 10 out of 10 for sure. Hey, So Sick, welcome back. Welcome back to the chat, y'all. How have y'all been? You used to be a skater boy? That's cute. You saw my look-alike today. Tell me more. Tell me more. That's crazy. Good evening, queens. I'm gonna put a picture up too, y'all. I'm about to put a picture up so I can show y'all. So this is the picture I want you guys to think about today when we talk about this topic. Make sure y'all like the live. Make sure y'all like the live. This is a picture that we're going to use. I'm gonna take it down. I'm not gonna keep it up the whole time. I'll put it back up later, but I'll take it down and put it up, you know, as we go through the live. Hey, Rico. So I want you guys to think about it. Unfortunately, you can't see the whole picture, but right here you can see it says mass media, like right here. So this is the different systems that affect us that we engage with. What is it called? This is called Bronfenbrenner ecological theory. So we have you as an individual, then you have your macro system that immediately affects you. Then you have your mesosystem, and then you have that ecosystem, macro system, and even chronosystem, right? But we're going to focus on the ecosystem, really specifically mass media is what we're going to focus on today. I think that even with the macro system in your home, everybody has a phone. Most people have computers, tablets. Most people today have access to the internet. Most people, hey Addie, most people have access to the internet today. So we are socialization, which is how society programs you. You just interacting with the people around you is a form of programming. It influences you, how you are. It gives you an idea of how you're supposed to behave. On top of that, as I always tell you guys, well, not always, but I'm going to big ups me, because if you bought the book You Are Programmed, if you go to page 23 of the book, it talks about socialization, because you are programmed. This is not a detailed, well, it is detailed, let me not lie, but this is a small book that gets you started on the information. You can do the rest on your own, but that has enough information in the book for you to start on your journey of rediscovering who you are. Okay, GR. Shout out to GR. Get into the bag. Love that for you. So socialization is how you learn how to behave based on the people around you. So you are constantly being influenced. We're human. Unfortunately, we cannot Most people cannot help but be influenced by the people around them. Hey, Thabo. What's your original name so I could try to remember you? Because I can't see anybody's like their at. Well, I can only see the at names, not the names. So we're going to talk about how society has programmed you in regards to marriage. Of course, like I always say, this is not be as detailed as I would like it, because there's so much to this topic. I could probably write 20,000 books about this topic, but that's not who I am. That's not what I'm going to do. So always do your own personal research on what you're interested in. But I would like to start off by talking about one of my favorite rappers named Mona Leo. Finding Nemo. Okay. And we're going to talk more about what y'all's favorite shows and movies are and why I asked you that question. So I'm going to talk a little bit about her real quick. So I want to note that because we're in this new age where most people are no longer getting their primary socialization through face-to-face interaction. Like, we're getting that through social media. Like, people are learning how to behave on social media. Even now we have like TikTok language, which if you are not on TikTok, he's asleep. If you're not on TikTok, you will not understand the language whatsoever. Somebody can come up to you and say 6'7", like somebody was just spamming in my chat, 6'7", and you're gonna be like, what is that? Why do people keep saying that? Or like, even when people do this, there are so many things, or even like, yuck. Like, there's so many things that if you are not on TikTok, you're not going to understand that language. And is how a lot of younger people are being socialized. About my topic, she wrote a book, a poem in the book about your topic. Well, congratulations to her. Bluey and Bingo. Okay. So I say that because although I already had like a mental idea about marriage, me being on YouTube already and talking to my people on here, and marriage was already something that was kind of creeping up in my mind of thinking about, I noticed a distinct shift of my social media after Mona Leo got married. If y'all know who Mona Leo is, she's a young Houston rapper. She's like 20 something, early 20s. She just got married, and she has a very like coming of age story where she overcame a lot of stuff, and now she's on her grind, living her best life. And so when I watched her wedding for like the next few days to a week, my whole entire algorithm in social media timeline shifted. After I watched her wedding, everything that came on my TikTok was about weddings. Everything on my TikTok, it was people talking about, you're getting married soon. Marriage is coming to you. You're getting married. Look at this wedding dress. Look at this wedding. So that is, so it's going to be so many things I'm going to talk about. And I didn't really give like a good, clean layout to talk about this stuff. So I hope I'm not all over the place. But I know you guys will understand what I'm saying regardless. But the reason why I bring that up is that social media is what gives you an idea of the standard of living. And because social media nowadays is what's socializing us, that is now giving us a standard of what to achieve for or how to be, if you allow that to determine what you want for your life, okay? So I wanted to start off by that to show that the algorithm is king. You know how people be like, money is king, money is king. No, algorithm is king, because a lot of people have addiction to their telephones, right? You know, I was watching a video where somebody was saying, you know, back in the day where they had like the futuristic shows, like, I don't know what they call Star Wars and stuff like that, where they used to show like futuristic technology, like phones and stuff. They were able to predict certain technology, but they were not able to predict how humans would engage with that technology. So now we have phones and stuff like that, which would be considered futuristic technology, but they were not predicting that this will be something that we would have in our hands all the time, every day, and it will be a large Jetsons for sure. It will be a large necessity for most people today's age. So when I ask you guys that question, hey Craig, and thank you for locks. When I ask you guys that question about when I asked you guys that question about what was your favorite shows, movies, and all those things, I asked you that because I want to see, well, what was programming you? What was giving you an idea of what life is supposed to look like or be like, right? So let's get into it. So the algorithm is our new socialization because most people are not going outside to get it. And so where we at? Yeah, I feel like I'm a little all over the place. Not going to lie, but we're going to get through it. So we already know that marriage for most people is like or it used to be, it was becoming more modern where people are, they have the opportunity to choose differently, but it used to be a way of status. Like you get married and now it feels like you've achieved a certain milestone in your life. Most people have the idea, well, I do this, I do this, I'm supposed to get married, then I have a baby, then I have a kid, and then we die. Like, you know, that was kind of how they were socialized. And you can even think about some of those shows that used to come on back in those times, most likely like what, 50 years ago, and you wouldn't have seen unmarried women, most likely. And if you did see them, they would have been portrayed in a certain manner. They could have been portrayed as overly sexualized. They could have been portrayed as delusional, crazy, old, and widowed. Like, most of the time you wouldn't just seen single people in a lot of older shows. So growing up for me also, I used to watch like Disney shows, princess movies, and the way that you saw these young women be shown was being saved, being rescued, marriage being the end all be all. It's like once they got the man, now there's a happily ever after. And it was portrayed to us that the goal is to be taken by a man, to be saved by a man, and vice versa. As a man, I would say some of those shows and movies watched growing up, you could see that, oh, as a man, I'm supposed to go and save this woman. I'm supposed to be the end all be all to this woman's life. This woman is supposed to be by my side. And even a little further, like watching shows like Family Guy, even like shows I used to grow up watching, George Lopez, Malcolm in the Middle, all the little Nickelodeon shows that used to come on at nighttime. There was even like one show where the dad was never seen. Like you can only see like the top portion of some of the like dads and stuff. And so for a lot of those shows in the early, what would that have been? That would have been like mid 2000s, most likely 2010, 2008. A lot of those shows, it depicted the father figure or the husband as being goofy, like all over the place, absent, quiet. It's a lot of ways that they depicted men and marriages. So you see that idea and you think like, okay, as a kid you watch that and you think that, well, this is what it's supposed to look like. Do y'all know some of those shows that I'm talking about? Proud Family, that's a good one too. Proud Family. You just see a lot of these shows. Even on top of that, you see like, you'll see a beautiful wife and then the husband is like, you know, not that cute. They even gave you like a standard formula of what husband and wife look like. You got a goofy, untrustworthy, all over the place, absent, mentally absent, emotionally absent father, and then you have this hot, beautiful wife who just got her shit together, you know, all those things. So you see these ideas that they are putting out on social media. I'm not social media, but on these shows. And even today, I love systems thinking. What is that? Even today, some of the most popular shows that we see today are like on Netflix, like Love Island, Love is Blind, Love at First Sight, Married at First Sight. Oh, the background. Oh, okay. Okay. See, I don't call it systems, so I call this Bronfenbrenner's ecological theory. Okay, Shaman. So this is Bronfen, Bronnne. Let me look it up so I don't spell it incorrectly for y'all while I'm trying to think about it, because this is Bronfenbrenner. Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory. So what was that? So thinking about even our more current shows that we have, that we see a lot of game shows that show love as a competition, where partnering up is not partnering up and often getting married is the goal to win. And what a lot of these people who get on these shows, what they win is fame, status, sometimes money, deals. Wagwan. Hey Tab, welcome back. They win deals. And when you watch a lot of these shows nowadays, they push getting to know these people quick, getting emotionally involved, and often physically involved with these people quickly on live television, and then like solidifying it quickly. Okay, now we have to being in a relationship, because what's going to help us survive and win this is being in a relationship. That may not come across as exactly like that when you're watching the show, but when you keep seeing the same thing in different shows, you start to subconsciously get the message that I need to partner up in order for me to succeed and be where I am. Even Married at First Sight, they say it's like an experiment to see, this and that, but it's still one of those things. It's like, hurry up and get with this person. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Make it quick, make it quick. So now we're no longer supporting getting to know people slowly, taking time to know their background. Even what Love Island, they have a certain portion of their show where they bring the families in, but it's not to get to know them. It's to give them support, because they're damn near in a damn prison on an island where all they eat is damn avocado toast, exercise, swim, and do challenges where they kissing each other. So nowadays, the structure of marriage and relationships is, I don't believe, at least as I'm watching these shows, I don't see it as this is a sacred union where you guys are building a family. It's more like we're being socialized to see that these relationships are supposed to be quick. You're supposed to be intimate quick. You need to survive. You need to stay in these relationships to survive, to make it, Ready to Love is another one like that. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't watch all of these shows, so I gotta look it up to see what Ready to Love looks like. Hey Donnie. Yeah, it's Rico, you said it's subconscious programming without even having to outright say. I'm gonna take this down, y'all, so y'all can see my background. But most of y'all saw it. I'll put it back up a little later. So those are the type of things that we have to think about as we are receiving these shows, these songs, these these movies and stuff, because there's going to be a consistent theme of how they're portraying relationships and marriages. I want to also emphasize, y'all know let me see what it looks like. I'm going to show y'all something. And then I'm going to tell you guys why I'm showing you this image. Commitment meal. That's interesting. I know y'all have seen this before. Most of y'all most likely have. So y'all see this? Have y'all seen this image before? Make sure y'all like the live, y'all. Make sure y'all double tap and like the live. Send some love. So y'all let me know if y'all seen that the snake eating itself. There's a name for it. What is this called? Ouroboros. That's what it's called. Ouroboros snake. Y'all let me know if y'all seen the Ouroboros snake before. That symbol typically, let me see. What it means to me, well, let me tell you what it means. What does it symbolize? So I can tell y'all. So it symbolizes renewal or cycle of life, death, and rebirth, right? But when I see this picture, it reminds me of socialization. And so when I see like what is being portrayed on TV shows, movies, and music, I think more about it in a business mindset, right? As a business owner, you have a target audience. You have to figure out what does your target audience want, and that's what you sell to them. It's not about what you want. Who cares about what you want? You have to give them what they want, whether it's good for them or bad for them. It's the same as like if you were a druga, how do you say that in Spanish? Druga dealer, right? No matter if it's good for you or bad for you, I mean, good for them or bad for them, you have a desire to make money. Therefore, you're going to sell the drugas to the people, whether it's going to harm them or not. Who cares? I get what I want out of it in the end, right? So that's how I see like some of these. I question it and I wonder, because I know a lot of people have like the whole the theories, like the conspiracy theories, like they're doing this for this, this, and this. But in my mindset, I think, well, are they really giving us this image, or are they taking what is already happening and putting it on TV, and it's reprogramming us to stay in that same cycle? Y'all get what I'm saying? So sick. Give me the Bentley first. The way y'all gonna get the Bentley is I'm gonna record a video while I'm in it for y'all, and then I'll go pick y'all up in the Bentley. So I definitely question it. And I ask myself, well, are they actually taking this and purposely saying, I'm going to put this out here because this is what I want them to do? Or are they just taking what is already common and giving the people exactly what they want? You know? Let me delete this. So even with, I looked up early 2000 songs because I know most of you guys were of age around that time. And some of the most popular songs were like Lose Yourself by Eminem, Hey Ya by Outkast, Toxic by Britney Spears, Crazy in Love, Beyonce. This was around 2002. Even Umbrella by Rihanna, Jay-Z, Yeah, by Usher and them. And okay, thank you, babe. That's exactly what they doing, Meiana. Which one? When you say that's exactly which one? Even in Disney movies, they put in, oh. Okay. So with a lot of these songs, like with Toxic by Britney Spears, it shows obsessive behavior in relationships. Crazy in Love by Beyonce. This was around the same time. These are the most popular songs. Again, it shows infatuation, obsession. Yeah, by Usher, it promotes the club scene. Lust, lustful connections. Umbrella, and what Umbrella is about is commitment, but like unwavering commitment, like I'm gonna be with you to the end. So like there's different songs depending on the type of music you listen to, which will also give you a mindset and impress you on what type of relationships and marriages you're going to have, or that you're going to most likely have. If you're constantly listening to Britney Spears, you probably have a fluctuating behavior. You constantly listen to who else? Usher, early Usher. You probably a playboy. Who knows? It depends. So you really have to pay attention to what you are consuming via social media and mass media. I want to go back to the algorithm being the king. Algorithm is king because most of the times within a certain age group, let's say 40s and younger, more often, maybe even 35 and younger, no, 35 and younger, more often, we're not going watching the news. We're not watching actual TV shows. Most of the time, we're probably watching YouTube, scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And that's where we'll get most of our news and stuff like that. And the way that the algorithm is, and this is another reason why I ask myself, well, are these shows really just putting this out here for occult reasons, to, it's a conspiracy theory to make us do whatever, or is it that they're just feeding us exactly what we want, exactly what we expect, so that they can get what they want? Because the algorithm nowadays is not the same for everybody. Everybody has a different algorithm, and I use TikTok more often than anything else, and I think that TikTok is the best example for this. And I think that Instagram has shifted the way that they have their social media based on TikTok. Because at first, Instagram was focused on friends. You could scroll down and you'll see your friends. Nowadays, when you scroll through social media, well, I don't use Facebook a lot, but like Instagram and TikTok, when you scroll through those, they're not showing you your friends first. You do have that option, like on TikTok, you have that option, but you're not seeing your friends first. You're seeing a For You page. You're seeing a page directly created based on what you actively and most of the time engage with. Whether that's you just looking at it, liking it, commenting on it, searching it, it's showing you a dedicated timeline of things that you are interested in. And so when you look at your algorithm is what's socializing you. Your algorithm is not going to be the same as somebody else's algorithm, because it's tailored to who they are. You could have somebody who's religious, who is often in the church, versus someone who goes to the club and parties. The one who's religious, their algorithm most of the time is probably going to be scriptures, Bible verses, sermons, gospel music. Someone who's in the club is going to probably be the top music, top club music, cute outfits, versus someone who likes to knit. Someone who likes to knit, they're probably going to be showing more hobby-like things on their things. So we're no longer in the age of we cannot control as an adult. Let me specify. As an adult who has the functioning capacity to make their own decisions about what they want in life. Most likely you're over the age of 25, because your brain is fully developed around 25, and then give it a little bit of time around 26. As an adult, you have the ability to look and say, hey, this content is not really supporting who I want to be. Let's say I want to have a healthy marriage, because the topic is marriage. I want to have a healthy marriage, but I keep seeing people fighting, breaking up, getting back together. I keep seeing inconsistent roller coaster like relationships. And now, because I'm human, I keep consuming the same thing. I am unintentionally being affected, and now I'm having emotional issues and problems in my own relationship. So as an adult, you really do have to decipher what you're going to consume via your internet, and really make effort to change your algorithm to fit who you want to be. The problem with that nowadays, when it comes to being socialized via the algorithm, the problem with that is that most people don't want to change, whether they realize that or not. Make sure y'all like the video. Most people don't want to change. What's your question, friend? They don't want to see something differently, because they're highly entertained by whatever they're seeing on their algorithm, on their social media. Hey, JJ. So it has to be a strong desire within oneself. Long time no see, baby. Mind y'all, if y'all haven't, make sure y'all go ask a question for the Q&A. Go to the community post. Hold on, let me drink some water, y'all. Go to the community post. There's a link. You can ask anonymous questions. I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I'm going to be doing a Q&A, and I'm going to be answering all y'all's questions. So make sure y'all ask a question. I am excited to answer y'all's questions. It's in the community on my post. You said, my girlfriend told me her body count is over 30. That scared me. Should I leave her? How old is she? I want you to know, half hawk, half man, depending on her age. A lot of people, depending on her age, there was we're talking about socialization, right? 28. Okay. Camera freezing. What is going on? What just happened? Tonight is not the night, y'all. Can y'all hear me? But can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me? What is going on? I'm about to crash out, y'all. I'm about to crash out. I'm about to get off YouTube. I'm about to crash out. Because it just turned my camera off. Somebody just called me. But I didn't answer. Now I turned my camera off. And now it's not turning back on. There we go. Oh, y'all, I don't know what to do no more. Have talk about turn your camera back on. Friend, I'm trying. I'm trying. Y'all, I'm about to say this. I'm about to get off. I'm not going to let YouTube stress me out. Hey, Rob. I'm not letting YouTube stress me out. So I was interested because in a part of my research, now that Half talked about body counts, we'll talk about that. I think I have a topic about sex and marriage as well. So we'll put that in the subtopics of sex and marriage when we get to it. Thanks, Half, for the topic, but I'll cut off. Y'all better stop hating on me. I told y'all Q&A. If y'all want to ask me any question, I'm going to be honest and answer those questions. Ask me in the Q&A on the community post, y'all. So, anywho, I was very interested in the 2008 boom because a lot of times when it comes to marriage, a lot of people don't get married during financially hard times. And then when finances get better, that's when more people get divorced, right? So 2008 was a time where they had a recession and all those things. So I was interested around that time, what was this, like, what was socially being put out? What the hell? So I was interested in what was being put out. In before 2008, around 1998, 2008, we had shows like Friends. These are the more popular shows. So Friends, Sex and the City, The Notebook, Desperate Housewives, The Bachelor. Those were some of the most popular shows around that time. And you can see that love became like more dramatic. Relationships, marriages, it was a lot more drama being portrayed in these shows. There was an instability. I love Desperate Housewives. I know y'all probably don't watch those because it's a lot of men in the chat. I've never seen like Sex and the City or The Notebook or The Bachelor or Friends, really. But I have watched Desperate Housewives. I love Desperate Housewives. It's a good show. Okay. And when it came to Desperate Housewives, let me see, how many people were still married to their husband by the end of that show? None of them. I don't think anybody was still married to their husband by the end of the show. Most of them remarried or didn't get married. Oh my God. Now that I think about it, Desperate Housewives was on for so long. That show was on from 2004 to 2012. And if you watch that show, most of those women did not stay married. It was so much drama. Even the music, I told you about the music earlier. I think that was in the last live. Different TV shows, the Real Housewives shows. Flavor of Love was in 2006. Oh my God, I'm just thinking about it. Sarah Jessica Parker, who is that? So sick. What? Um, economically, you know, the housing market was collapsing. People was losing their jobs. Um, as we know, a lot of people see marriage and like getting married in general as a status quo, and a lot of people have like an idea what it's supposed to look like, especially financially. So a lot of times around 2008, a lot of people was losing their jobs, so they was having an identity collapse. And we see what I'm starting to see. Sex and the City actor. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably why I don't know who that is, because I never seen that show. 106 in Park was fired. Okay. So I didn't really watch 106 in Park growing up. I didn't really watch a lot of BET growing up. I think I watched more like Disney. I don't know. Nickelodeon. I don't know. So, like I was saying, one of the things I'm starting to notice when it comes to marriage is that identity is a big deal. So when people go through identity shifts, it could literally uproot the whole entire marriage and change everything. So identity has to be something that needs to be figured out prior to marriage. And that's something else we'll add to the list of things to think about before you get married. But couples who had tied their identity to material stability, they had existential, I can't say the word, crises. During that time, divorce rates dipped around 2008 and 2009 because people couldn't afford it, but it went back up around 2010 because people could afford it again. So a lot of people during 2008 had a lot of economic strains. They couldn't afford stuff. Money ain't got the time for some of those people. Unfortunately, it's so sad. And because they associated marriage to being financially well, they were no longer happy in their marriages. Andrew said people change every 5 years. Make sure you understand that before marriage. So you can see some of the messages being put out. So with television, people are seeing marriage as a milestone. They're seeing marriage as being dysfunctional, being a competition, the up and down roller coaster. With music, you're hearing more heartbreak music. You're hearing the independent woman. You're hearing the toxic music around that time, early 2000s. The movies, you're seeing more dramatic movies, dramatic love. You know, the going to see her at the airport, like last minute, like, oh, I gotta go catch her at the airport. Oh, I gotta go play music on the radio outside her window. With advertisement, you see couples getting homes, buying wedding rings. We just talked about that. TV shows, reality TV, you see competition, drama when it comes to marriages. So around that time, even kind of the things being put out in 2008 was very dramatic, very tumultuous. So to be having all that being put out around 2008, then you have an economic shift. Imagine how all those programs affected people around 2008 when it came to a halt. People didn't have solid relationships if you were engaging in that content, in that programming, in that entertainment, right? So yeah, I talk nice. Okay, thank you. So those are the things that I want people to think about when it comes to, okay, how is marriage programming? How is social media, how is mass media programming me in regards to my relationship with marriage, my ideas on marriage? I'm about to go watch Arthur right now. I'm about to go watch Arthur because I need a better idea of marriage. So yeah, a lot of factors. It's too many. It's too many factors. It's too many. I'm telling you. Y'all, I don't even know. But like I was saying, again, here's one more thing that I want to talk about with the algorithm. I told you guys, you know, as adults, we have to be the one to really change the way that we engage with social media if we know what's best for us. If we know what we want and we know that certain social media is not supportive to us, then we got to let it go, right? So that's the same with who we follow. Like I said, when I watch Mona Leo, y'all give me a second. When I watch Mona Leo is a young Houston rapper. She's like early 20s. I watched her wedding. After I watched her wedding, my entire algorithm changed for like a week. And I was only being shown weddings, marriages, people telling me I'm going to get married. You know, people saying, even my algorithm is not typically like Christian based, but it will be like Christians talking about the Bible, God is sending you a husband, the husband is coming. Like, when I tell you the marriage content came, like every single video that I watched was marriage. I got so tired of it. I literally was like, I need to take a break, because why are you only showing me marriage content? This was before I even started this conversation on YouTube. So even the people who you follow, if they are marriage minded or not marriage minded, oh my God, why is it so hard for me to say that? If they are marriage minded or not marriage minded, it's going to severely affect your personal timeline, because what happens is the algorithm gives you more of what you engage in. Dragon Tales, Clifford, oh for sure. Y'all want to know my age? That's what I grew up on. Dragon Tales, Clifford, Teletubbies, Arthur. Yeah. Little Einsteins. That's a little after me, but I remember waking up to go to school and Little Einsteins being on. So, Craig, you know how old I am, friend. About something, yeah. So I was thinking even about India, like the country India. Obviously in America, we're going to have different things being promoted to us. But like when I think about India, I think about the big weddings. I don't know. I think about people riding elephants at their weddings. Like those are like the biggest weddings I can think of, is somebody riding an elephant at their wedding. So even to think, if you're not American, some of those things that we talked about today, you're probably not going to even comprehend, understand, or be able to, you know, really emotionally connect to. So I have some information with India, key socialization indicators for India modern era. Weddings continue to be a major social ritual, deeply embedded cultural, family, religious insignificance. Media and influencer programming show lavish weddings of elite families, which is what I be seeing, right? Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Y'all, he just over here. Yeah, I'm getting distracted. Weddings are a waste of money. It depends. Weddings are a ritual. India had them arranged marriages. Come to America type wedding. I'm dead. There was no, you are. Yeah. So, weddings is supposed to be a ritual. So, you know, it depends on what you consider a waste of money. You also see digital trends. So the wedding industry and social media creates highlight reels, culture around marriage videos, a dance, field celebration, big venues, elaborate rituals. You would also see, because India is a collectivist culture, weddings are going to be more targeted towards family. So you'll probably see more family-oriented advertisements when you see weddings in India. It says research over 300,000 Indian matrimonial profiles show younger generations are more open to individualistic qualities versus family-based criteria in spouse selection. So India is also American, not Americanized, but what are they? Westernized is what they saying. What they say. So even if you are in the Middle East, India, any of those places, you are most likely highly affected by the Western culture, and so younger people are probably becoming more individualistic compared to being collectivist. So that's again an effect of mass media, social media, is that the Western culture heavily focuses on individualistic mindset, people, relationships, all those things, marriages, and it's being portrayed in the other countries. And a lot of people want to come to America. A lot of people want to be American. They love American culture for some reason, and they are highly affected by American culture. So you can see that if you have someone who is Indian living in India who is engaging in a lot of American content, social media, television shows, mass media, advertisement, all those things, they're going to probably be affected by Americans' ideals of marriage as well. America is great, Shotty. Shout out to America. So that's what I have for you guys with this conversation. Um, I really was excited to talk about this. So, you know, yeah. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. What Sunday? We're gonna talk about a Sunday. The influence. Yeah, America is very influential. It's crazy. I love America. Shout out to Americans. Although my ancestors had to struggle to be here, nigga, we made it. I didn't answer your question. That's crazy. What was it? What's my topic list, y'all? I'm waiting for my topic list to come up so I can tell you guys the topics. Okay. Y'all. Here we go. So we have preparation for marriage and dating with intention, leisure, bonding, and play in marriage. Shout out to them BAPs, period. Minus the breaks. No, for real, John. Sorry, y'all. Spiritual. We are talking about the spiritual meaning of marriage. Marriage and self-actualization, marriage and money. I'm going to give y'all a few. We just talked about relational and sexual intimacy in marriage. I think maybe that's a good topic because we just literally was talking about that in this live. So maybe that's what we'll do next live on Sunday. We'll talk about sexual intimacy and then body counts, since our friend asked us about it. I think it's a perfect topic to have. And we'll talk about how sex affects marriage, hormonal shifts, all those things. Let me add this to the subtopics so I don't forget. Subtopics, body counts before marriage. Thank you to Half. I think that was his name, Half. Body counts before marriage. There we go. Hold up. There we go. So that's all I have for us today in regards to the programming of mass media on our ideas of marriage, why we should protect ourselves and become more consciously aware individuals and adults in order to have a healthy, happy marriage. You know what I didn't even talk about? Because when I tell you so many things to talk about, the red pill conversation, red pill, pink pill, purple pill, all those people. Oh my God. I didn't even talk about it. Y'all give me a second. Sorry, y'all. Shout out to you, Andrew. Welcome to the community. I didn't even talk about that. That's so crazy to have that was not even on my list of things to talk about. Oh my God. I was so worried about so many other things. I forgot all about that. We'll do a quick little overview before I get off the live, y'all. Nowadays, there are a lot of social media influencers whose main conversation is about relationships. And I've heard many stories about how this content has disrupted marriages, for the good, for the bad. For some people, everybody, what's happening is they're being overly influenced by people online telling them how a woman or how a man is supposed to treat them. And because they chose a partner at whatever time frame of their life for who they were at that moment, did not have these standards, boundaries, or desires, they uprooted their whole entire life to match what strangers on social media are telling them that they need. You have women who say things like, well, they say stuff like, what they be saying, y'all, I don't know. We have men on social media who like, you need to have 2-3 women. You have women on social media who say men cannot love. I was just watching a video about how the whole video was titled "Marriage is Slavery." Literally, the video was called "Marriage is Slavery," and I just think that's so crazy. Thank you, friend. Thank you. I just think that it's so crazy for somebody to say marriage is slavery. So what I see is that people are putting their standards and their desires out, and because people are influenced easily, they take that and then they run with it and say, well, this is how my life is supposed to be. This man has hella bitches coming in and out the house, cooking him breakfast. And then they think, well, this man has it, I should have it too. And they forget, you're not that nigga. Like, and women on top of that, they say, well, I want a man who is going to pay all of my bills, and he is going to, I'm not going to have to work anymore, and all I can do is be a stay-at-home girlfriend, stay-at-home wife, and they forget, you're not that girl. That's not who you are. You're only desiring this because you see this on social media. But you naturally would have never desired this if you did not engage with this. And you have not only would you have not desired this, you have not done any mental work to prepare yourself to be an individual who's in that place. So I don't know. That's a whole extra conversation about how social media socializes us. But that is a phase and a trend that was highly seen and consumed by many people, left and right. Even me personally, I've watched the videos, listened to the men and the women talk. Red pill, pink pill. I've listened to both of them talk about what they want and what they feel like a man and a woman should be. The problem is, stop basing your life on random people on the internet who you don't know nothing about their background. They're only providing you thought pieces, their beliefs, nothing more, nothing less. Listen to people who live the lifestyle that they preach about. Okay? So, you see a lot of that content too? So, they have unrealistic expectations. Yeah. We have to meet our expectations often, some way, somehow, shape, or form before we expect other people to do so for us. Because what happens if you cannot meet your own expectations of others, you use other people as a form of validation, and then you create an emotional reliance on those people, and then it becomes an unhealthy, unstable, codependent relationship. And remember, when you get married, you want to be autonomous. That's what's going to help you stay healthy in a healthy marriage, is being an autonomous person and not being completely dependent on another being for your survival. So we'll end it on that. When it comes to social programming, mass media programming, and influences. Okay, y'all. I love you guys so much. Remember, make sure you go ask an anonymous question in the community tab. I will be answering Q&As. I'm going to do another shout out on Sunday. Hopefully, I'll have time throughout the week to do it. What is it? We have Friday, Sunday, and Monday. So, Sunday and Monday, I'll do another shout out to make sure that you guys come out and ask the questions. And then throughout that week, I'll use that to record the video and upload it. Thank you, John. I love you too, friend. GR, have a good night. Social media is disturbing to some people. Don't compare, don't compete. Yes. Peace and blessings. Y'all be easy, okay? I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. I'll talk to y'all later. Sleep well, Byron.